Welcome back, everybody. We're up to the final lesson of Unit 3, that is Lesson 19. And what this lesson is about is something called the discriminant. And the discriminant, as it says here in the lesson notes, is the part of the quadratic formula that is under the square root. So that's this part right here, the b squared minus 4ac part. And it turns out that the discriminant will actually tell us what type of solutions a quadratic will have. So it turns out if your discriminant is positive, if it's greater than 0, that means that the quadratic will have two solutions that are both real numbers. Okay? If the discriminant is equal to 0, so if the discriminant is exactly 0, that means that the equation will have one solution that is a real number. And if the discriminant is negative, then that tells me that the quadratic will still have two solutions, but those two solutions will be complex numbers, not real numbers. So no real solutions to complex solutions. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at the examples here. So for each of the following equations, find the value of the discriminant and determine what kind of solutions the equation will have without actually solving it. So for the first one, x squared minus 6x plus 5, let's first go ahead and identify my a value, my b value, and my c value. So my a value is going to be 1. Okay, remember a is the coefficient of the x squared term. B is the coefficient of the x term, so b is going to be negative 6. And c is the constant term, so that's going to be 5. So a is 1, b is negative 6, and c is 5. So the discriminant, remember, is going to be b squared minus 4 times a times c. So in this case, b squared minus 4 times a times c. So negative 6 squared, that's going to be negative 6 times negative 6, which is 36. And then negative 4 times 1 times 5 is going to be negative 20. So 36 minus 20 is 16. So find the value of the discriminant. The discriminant is 16. What type of solutions it's going to have? Well, 16, last time I checked, is a positive number that's greater than 0. So that tells me that that equation is going to have two real number solutions. So determine what kind of solutions the equations will have. Two real solutions. Okay. Number 2, let's again identify A, B, and C. So A is going to be 1, B is going to be negative 6 again, and C is going to be 13. So let's see here. B squared minus 4 times A times C. So that's going to be this. So negative 6 squared is 36. And then negative 4 times 1 times 13, that's going to be a negative 52. So 36 minus 52 is going to be negative 16. So the discriminant this time is going to be negative 16. So the discriminant is negative, that's less than 0, which tells me that my solutions are going to be two complex solutions. So two complex solutions. Okay? No real solutions. So that's number 2. Number 3, x squared plus 6x minus 9 equals 0. So again, I'll identify my A, B, and C. So A in this case is now going to be negative 1 because of that negative x squared. B is going to be 6, and C is going to be negative 9. All right, so let's do my B squared minus 4AC. So that will look something like this. All right, so 6 squared, that's going to be 36. And then negative 4 times negative 1 times negative 9. So negative 4 times negative 1 times negative 9 is going to be a negative 36. So 36 minus 36 is indeed 0. So the value of the discriminant is 0. All right, that tells me that this equation is going to have one solution that's a real number. So one real solution. Okay? And that is it for lesson 19.